Hi, this is our third lesson on learning how to read notes on the treble clef. I'm going to read Meet the Clefs one more time, just to make sure we really understand the difference between the treble clef and the bass clef. And then I won't read it again for a few more lessons. Just a reminder, we have been learning how to read notes C, D, and E, and focusing so far only on the treble clef. Let's read our story. Meet the Clefs, written by Brett Siegel, illustrated by Anna Nash. This is a story about a brother and sister who live together in a big house, bass clef and treble clef. They are very similar, but they are also very different. Bass lives downstairs, underneath middle C. Treble lives upstairs, on top of middle C. Bass is left-handed. When he does things like draw or paint, he uses his left hand. Go ahead, take your left hand and put your hand on top of bass clef's hand and practice touching your thumb and tapping your pointer for 2 and tapping your middle finger for 3 and your ring finger for 4 and your pinky finger for 5. Treble is right-handed. She uses her right hand to do things like write and throw a ball. Take your right hand and put it on top of Treble's hand and tap your thumb and tap your pointer for 2 and tap your middle finger for 3 and tap your ring finger for 4 and tap your pinky for 5. Good job. Bass likes the color yellow. He only eats yellow food like bananas, lemons, and corn. Treble loves the color red. She only eats red food such as cherries, strawberries, and raspberries. Bass and treble are both musicians. They sing and play many instruments. Bass plays low notes that sound like this: ta, ti, ti, ta. Treble sings notes that are high like this: ti, 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 ta, ta. Do you notice that middle C is on top of bass, and middle C is on the bottom of treble, right? Just like our middle C goes on the bottom of treble, which you can't see. On the bottom of treble, right here, middle C. Bass lives downstairs and treble lives upstairs, but there is one part of the house that they share: the floor in the middle, which they call middle C. They will sometimes meet in the middle to sing and play music. When they are done singing and playing at middle C, bass walks downstairs singing the alphabet backwards: C, B, A. Treble goes up the stairs and sings the alphabet forward: C, D, E. The two clefs live in different parts of the same home making music, both sounding equally talented and both sounding beautiful. Thanks for visiting. Come back soon. So we won't be coming back to this house for a few more weeks. But if you want to read the story or listen to the story, of course, you can rewatch this video. So here we go. Let's look at the 3 notes that we've been working on. We've been reading 3 notes on the treble clef. What are the 3 notes? C, D, and E. I took the notes off because you're going to need to tell me how to put them back on. What do I need to put here so that I know that it is middle C? Right, I need to put our special line right here to show us that it's middle C. I'm going to use our half note And you're going to see that the head has the line from middle C going through it. That is middle C. Then I'm going to use our quarter note for D, and it's right under our first line. And I'm going to use our eighth notes for E. And we're going to have to make sure that the head of the notes have the green line going right, like it would cut right through it. If we follow the line with our finger, it goes right through. That's how we know those are E. So I just wanted to remind you of that. I'm going to put 3 notes on the side. You tell me what you think they are, and then you can move forward and play all the games. Okay, I'm gonna do my best to trick you and make this harder because I know you're getting it. Our first note. What do you think that is? I'll count to 5 in my head and then I'll tell you. Use our clues. Look where it is. Look what's happening with the head of the note and use the clues. This is D. Here we go. Let's do our next note. Okay. Take a few seconds. See if you can figure out what that note is. All right, did you use your clues over here to figure out what note that is? If you guessed C, you are correct. That is C. We have one more note to try. What note, look here, what note is this with the first line going through it? Good. If you guessed E, you are correct. That is an E. All right, let's move forward and play all of our other games on Nearpod.